China is refusing to negotiate with President Trump on U.S. tariffs. In fact, the nation is taking the trade war to a new height. China is refusing to accept deliveries of Boeing jets.
China has said it would not increase tariffs again, even if the United States does, posting this morning, quote, China remains committed to joining hands, not throwing punches.
Ever wonder what $2.8 billion worth of abandoned stuff looks like? Well, thanks to Grumpy Trumpy's latest temper tantrum with China, we now have massive container graveyards filling up ports across Asia. That's right, over 25,000 shipping containers are just sitting there collecting dust. Meanwhile, American companies are scrambling to find new manufacturing buddies in Southeast Asia. But, surprise, surprise, Vietnam and Thailand are already booked solid. So now we're stuck paying more for everything while Orange Man spends his days on Truth Social complaining about paper straws. Classic Donnie. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. So remember when your mom told you not to throw tantrums in the toy store? Well, someone should have told that to our president. Grumpy Trumpy didn't just throw a fit. He threw the entire global shipping industry into chaos. Picture this.
China is refusing to negotiate with President Trump on U.S. tariffs. In fact, the nation is taking the trade war to a new height. China is refusing to accept deliveries of Boeing jets.
China could jump as high as 245%. A White House fact sheet on Wednesday says the new hike is in response to China's retaliatory tariff of 125%.
Morning, the world's two largest economies locked in an escalating trade war, with China now hitting back, responding to President Trump's tariffs by targeting U.S. companies.
25,000 abandoned shipping containers sitting in Chinese ports. That's enough metal boxes to stretch 95 miles if lined up end to end. You could literally create a wall of containers from New York City to Philadelphia. And unlike Trump's border wall, this one actually got built. Here's what went down. American companies ordered tons of stuff from China: toys, electronics, furniture. You know, all the junk we can't live without. Then suddenly, Orange Turd decides to play tough guy and slaps massive tariffs on everything coming from China. We're talking a 60% tariff bomb dropped right on American businesses who had already placed their orders. Oopsie. Now it's financially idiotic to actually bring the goods home.
China has said it would not increase tariffs again, even if the United States does, posting this morning, quote, China remains committed to joining hands, not throwing punches. From tariffs after all. Small imports will also be tariffs starting May 2nd. The president closing a loophole that had allowed imports less than $800 to be tariff exempt.
That was the strongest monthly pace since January of 2023. Supplies of new and used vehicles for sale are declining rapidly as consumers flock to stores ahead of potential price increases due to the tariffs.
The ports of Shanghai and Shenzhen have basically turned into container junkyards. There's $2.8 billion worth of goods just sitting there, collecting dust, while workers stand around twiddling their thumbs. I bet those dock workers in China are thinking, hey, at least Americans are consistent. They elected a toddler, and now they're acting like one by abandoning all their toys. Why are thousands of containers piling up? Because when Trump's tariffs hit, American companies looked at the math and went, yeah, no thanks. Imagine ordering a pizza for $15, but when you go to pick it up, the price is suddenly $24. You might just say, keep the pizza, except in this case, it's billions of dollars worth of stuff.
The digital yuan is meant to be faster than using credit or debit cards on digital wallets like Apple Pay. Plus, there are other incentives, like zero transaction fees for merchants. China's central bank has also said it plans to gradually replace all cash and coins with the digital yuan. The country would be the first major economy to introduce a digital currency in the real world.
It's nothing like Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other cryptocurrencies. This is run by the Chinese government, and one of the main reasons for doing so is to have a state-backed.
These American companies aren't just sitting around crying, though. They're frantically trying to cancel orders, but Chinese manufacturers are basically saying, too bad, so sad, and refusing to lower prices or take back the goods. It's like when you try to return something without a receipt and the store clerk just stares at you with dead eyes. Except instead of a $20 toy, we're talking about millions of dollars in merchandise. The desperation has reached such epic levels that American businesses are scrambling to find manufacturing alternatives in Southeast Asia. Hey, Vietnam! Hey, Thailand!
To begin testing the digital currency online and in physical stores, last year the Chinese central bank started doling out digital cash through public lotteries in cities across China. Merchants in Chengdu have signed up to accept digital yuan. Zhong Jiayin manages a dumpling restaurant, and she said the digital yuan has some advantages compared with other.
It's in China, so this is something that's really unprecedented among major economies. China is by far the most advanced of any in digital currency, and it's exciting to watch.
Can you make all our stuff instead? But guess what? Those countries are already maxed out. Their manufacturing capacity is stretched thinner than Trump's comb-over in a hurricane. So this escape plan that seemed so brilliant is failing miserably because other Asian countries simply don't have enough factories to pick up China's slack. According to sources, this attempt to shift operations to Southeast Asia has been like jumping from the frying pan into the fire. That's not me being dramatic. That's an actual quote from someone who knows what they're talking about, unlike Donnie Diapers, who thinks tariffs are just magic money that China pays directly to the U.S. Treasury. The logistics costs alone have skyrocketed as companies try to make this transition work. It's Economics 101, but apparently our former president skipped that class along with How Not to Be a Complete Narcissist 101 and Basic Human Decency 201. What's worse is that these container graveyards represent $2.8 billion in trapped inventory that nobody wants to pay the tariffs on. That's $2.8 billion of stuff just sitting there, rotting away. Think about what $2.8 billion could buy: healthcare for veterans, school lunches for kids, or about 3 hours of Trump not complaining about something. And here's the real kicker. All these costs eventually get passed down to us, the American consumers. That new toaster you want? 25% more expensive. That toy for your kid? Double the price. According to industry experts, we're looking at some serious price hikes. A $20 toy could now cost $40, a $400 iPhone could jump to $800, and a new car could cost an extra $6,000 to $12,000. But hey, at least we're winning the trade war, right? The Chinese manufacturers aren't budging either. They've dug their heels in and refused to lower prices despite pressure from U.S. buyers. This standoff has created massive delays and inflated costs that, surprise, surprise, end up coming out of your pocket and mine. So there you have it. While the U.S. economy was tanking with a GDP drop of -3%, what was Trump focused on? Paper straws. Yep, while your wallet was getting thinner, Donnie Diapers was ordering the Justice Department to ban those terrible paper straws for being expensive and ineffective. How ironic. Just like his trade policies. The Harvard Business Review confirmed Chinese imports jumped 5 to 7% thanks to his brilliant tariff strategy. And the stock market? The Dow plummeted 1,500 points in a month, while the S&P 500 dropped 3.5% in its biggest decline of the year. Easy to win? More like easy to screw up completely.